Homes come in all shapes and sizes, but what matters is they fit our lifestyle. From UFOs and domes to giant rolling insects, these houses will make you want to move today. Potatoes are a staple, from mashed to fries, and now real estate. The world's largest potato is actually a home, and it's not filled with carbohydrates, but rather the coziest aesthetic in Idaho. Since the space is limited, its owner had to get creative with the bathroom. So he cut up an extra grain silo, and voila! Why search for aliens when you can be one? It truly looks like that model from the game Astroneer, where energy is renewable. You have a kitchen and a living room spanning the 360-degree walls. As for the bedroom, it goes down 5 feet. But you won't feel stuffy, because just above is a glorious clear roof for the stars. Welcome to every introvert's dream home. It's only accessible via boat because it lies in the middle of the James River in Virginia. There's a master bedroom, a porthole room, watch room, and a viewing room atop the tower. If you don't mind having seagulls as neighbors, this is the place to be. When aviation addicts build a residence, you better fasten your seatbelt. This one is a retired Douglas DC-6, transformed to have 700 square feet of livable space. Most of the original controls in the cockpit have been preserved, but the cabin greets you into an elongated living and dining room. The highlights, however, are its cargo door and viewing deck on its left wing. Ah yes, the unorthodox man cave that nobody would think to look at. With a few items from IKEA, this guy transformed an empty garbage bin, blown into his yard during a storm, into a portable Netflix and chill. Oh, did I forget to mention that it's got security features too? Give an interior design undergrad $4,000 and he'll create a wonder on wheels. Dubbed the Roamer Bus, this tiny living space reflects its owner's personality. He ingeniously installed storage space in a school bus's overhead bins and removed the chairs to fit an entire apartment. Ask a person from the 60s, and this would be their idea of a futuristic home today. Designed by architect Matti Saronen in 1968, the Futuro house is modular and made of fiberglass. You'll be welcomed by vibrant colors and all-around window panels, which help it look more spacious than it is. From a single pound spent on eBay, a UK couple turned a silo into a hidden gem in their backyard. There's just something about the combination of wood and metal that makes it feel elemental. Everything inside is self-made, with materials sourced from a local junkyard and fallen trees. Let's now move on to the Red Kite Conquer. It's like renting out a giant-sized soccer ball whose selling point is simplicity. It features a queen-sized bed plus some cooking amenities. One night here is guaranteed to give you a break from the hustle and bustle of society. Do you remember that one bus scene where Harry Potter gets squeezed? You're about to relive that experience all over again with Le Havre, France. Nicknamed the Narrow House, this is more of an art statement than a livable home. All the items, from the furniture to the dishes, have been specially procured to give that claustrophobic vibe. And take a look at that toilet. I think the gents might find it difficult to aim there. Next up is an inn that's adorable to the bone. It's the crazy creation of a pair of chainsaw artists in Idaho. The Dog Bark Park is every canine lover's dream. Its door is located at the part where things usually only come out of. Peering inside, you'll find doggy art, dog literature, doggy-shaped snacks, and much more. Now, today's video would be incomplete until we saw it upside down. Located in South Africa, everything in this house has been plastered on the roof to confuse even gravity. The best part is, the facilities work. You can watch TV or do the laundry, although taking a shower bath can be a bit challenging. A homeowner once said, "Kids become adults and adults become kids again." He was talking about this, a yellow submarine in the forest. To achieve a steampunk Victorian aesthetic, items inside the sub were recycled from telephone poles or bought secondhand. For such a small and awkward space, he was able to fit his office, double bunk beds, and a shower stall. One tiny home in Colorado will take you all the way back to 1940. It's a World War II railway train car modified to be an enchanting house in the woods. The residents bought its wall and ceiling materials from an old hotel, and then aged the wood for a boxcart theme. The last site you'd expect 9,000 feet up in the Italian Alps is an Airbnb, and yet here we are. Originally built in 1949, it's been modified numerous times to accommodate mountaineers. It's separated into two parts, the dining room and the dormitory with 12 beds. A biological toilet that digests waste is also available to lessen environmental impact. Lastly, it's accessible by choppers for emergencies. At least once in a person's life, they should gaze upon the northern lights, and the Aurora Hut is arguably the best way to do it. Picture this, floating on a lake in an eco-friendly igloo that's portable by dog sled anywhere you fancy. Just like Elsa, the cold cannot bother you, since it has electric heating and a heated rooftop. It's now time to visit one of two converted double-deckers in the US that can be your next tourism accommodation. It centers around a rustic theme. Compared to most on today's episode, it doesn't pepper guests with modern-day electronics like TVs or computers. Rather, it offers numerous nooks to converse and hang out off the grid. Why build a house when you can house the build? Tramcade is a former industrial area in the Netherlands, so one man thought, let's put a hotel in a crane. You can get a great view of the city or any view that you want. Right next to the bed, its machine controls still function. For us, that's true luxury. In our next house, getting bored is a bigger worry than nuclear fallout. Once a World War II bomb shelter, it's been partially dug out and turned into a sleek modern home. Spacious kitchen? Check. Marble long table? Check. Roof terrace? You betcha. To ensure the structure stays strong, some integral parts of the bunker were left behind. You can observe it by how thick the walls are. To respond to Hong Kong's growing cost of real estate, one inventor experimented with concrete water pipes. He found that it had enough usable space to build living quarters. The overall area stands at 161 square feet and can house 2 people. It uses the Japanese concept of simple living and employs retractable drawers to maximize storage space. Believe it or not, this is a treehouse. Or at least how a treehouse would look like in Tron Legacy. The brainchild of a mechanical engineer, you enter the sky sphere through a fingerprint scanner and climb a ladder to this 360-degree view. Its lights, beer maker, and sofa fridge are all controlled via phone. The home has smart functions too, so similar to Alexa, every part of the room is interactable. We almost skipped over this anatomically correct sphincter house for obvious reasons. Built from wood, PU foam, and fiberglass, it's surprisingly clean and lustrous compared to the real deal. It's one of the cheapest hotels in Wolverhampton that you can get that serves breakfast, provided you can stomach it. Yes, it does look like a big loaf of bread from the outside, but hear me out. The Fab Lab house is an engineering marvel by the IAAC in Catalonia. Since it was built to tackle issues such as self-sufficiency, a photovoltaic system and permaculture garden were installed to generate twice the energy and food that it needs. Moreover, information tech is used in the interior for optimal work and rest experience. Harnessing the power of LEGO is George Clark's living unit. They are portable modules that only need a connection to main services to function. Each unit offers 10 square meters of room. You've got 3 module types: the kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. If one type is lacking, buy an additional unit and plug it on top. Just a bit larger than a van is this Eco Capsule. It's a Slovakian product that allows you to stay in remote places with the experience of a hotel. The Eco Capsule has a standard bathroom and a double-sized bed. What makes it spectacular is what's going on outside. Your comfort is powered by solar cells, a wind turbine, and rainwater collection. Thus, it's 100% guaranteed sustainable. The beauty of living in a water tank is that you don't have to worry about plumbing. Bought for 30,000 euros, it took Patrick Metz, the owner, 5 years to construct and plan, plus another 7 to acquire the necessary permits. What was born was a 40-meter-high home with its original metal tank serving as the kitchen and living room. Since it's a tower, you'll find the ceiling heights quite insane. To honor their Native American ancestry, an Illinois resident built this beautiful twin-dome house. What immediately pops out are its geodesic structure and organic formulation. But the peaceful vibe is ultimately tied by natural lighting that bounces on its woodwork and bamboo floor. The domes contain a total of 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plus 1 boundless garage. Nope, it's not Hobbiton, it's the diamond cabin that took TikTok by storm. Its ground floor is 90 square feet and houses the living room plus kitchen. When you climb, you'll see its cozy bedroom deck that has a magical view, especially on rainy days. The hermit in the wood feel is achieved through its outhouse and shower. Diamond Cabin is made mostly of salvaged wood, just as how a hobbit would do it. There's nothing quite like being blessed every day because you live in the house of God. After a £3.7 million restoration, this Devon church defines luxury. The building structure is mostly untouched, from the facade to the Gothic arches. But the interior has been modernized. A loft was installed on top of the altar to reclaim some space, and all parts of the building were chucked in with sleek furniture and entertainment systems. As soon as this hangar opens, your jaw will drop trying to comprehend that this is an office. Inspired by anthropods, the giant monster called Black Mantis is a 15-foot diamond-shaped beast. And yes, by default it has a meeting table and chairs. But those can be folded in to make way for a living quarter. The 3-kilometer landing strip also ensures views outside aren't taken for granted. One part of Rotterdam is famous for its forest of cubes. Tilted at 55-degree angles, each of them seems to defy gravity whilst atop some pylons. Those same pylons serve as the entrance and level 1 of the building. The downside of staying here is that everything feels distorted. On the other hand, its walls and windows offer a unique perspective of the sky and the street below. Introducing the only house that rivals Carl Fredricksen's seclusiveness on Paradise Falls. You have to hike and bike for 36 miles into the forests of Washington to get here. This Firewatch Tower offers a majestic panoramic view. It has space for needed provisions and camping accessories to keep you going for up to 6 months. How does glamping 40 feet in the air sound? This A-frame cabin lets you enjoy nature in condominium-style facilities like a bed, a countertop with dinnerware, and a study table. Sure, it looks open from the outside with no blinds and a transparent shower, but what's to worry about? Only squirrels live close by. Architect Terry Brown built a one-bedroom house in Ohio that hundreds of tourists visit each year. The most prominent feature is its mangled shape, which resembles a rotten mushroom. Inside is much more whimsical. Adorned with colorful mosaic windows and abstract-shaped furniture, you can guess the character behind its construction. It's not just the dwarves from The Lord of the Rings who live inside mountains. They literally bombed a cliffside to perch this 2,100 square foot home. It has 3 bedrooms and is complete with all modern amenities that you'd expect. It even has a garage door and Amazon delivery. Now that is rock solid. Aspiring to be the next Bruce Wayne? Then take some inspiration. Luckily for this homeowner, when he bought the land, it had the 60-foot tunnel as an inclusion. His man cave was pretty much finished as soon as he threw in the beanbags and the rolling bed. The Hobbit door, though, is where the magic lies. Next up is an abode that goes with the flow. The Pax is a floating villa, initially built in Victoria, Canada for Expo 86. Since then, a couple saved it from despair and lovingly restored it themselves. They worked for months to give it features like a composting toilet, a handmade curved cedar dinette, a storage staircase, and more. The view they get through the bedroom and garden roof deck is top-notch. During the 70s, France had a DIY movement about building the house of your dreams. Here's one of its products. The idea of the bubble house was to integrate everything into the building. Hence, benches, storage, and platforms are mostly connected to the walls. You can also see a lack of doors, since the main focus is on openings that connect rooms to the outside world. If privacy isn't an issue, then you'll love this. Approximately 95% of the facade is made of see-through tempered glass. The property itself has 3 floors and a myriad of stairs and shelves. Like the previous home, the idea here is to provide an avenue for people to converse and connect on different levels. That is, either with other people or simply the environment. You don't need plenty of moolah to do great business, and the Bonita Homes shows you how. 85% of the retreat's earth architecture is sourced from the land it's built on. There are 3 main structures, one 12-foot diameter shower dome and 2 8-foot bedroom domes. Booking a stay here allows you to walk the entire property with its communal kiva fire pit, art studio, and drum-making station. There's an old woman who lived in a shoe. No, she's not in a nursery rhyme, she's in Tasman, New Zealand. Constructed to be part of Jester House Cafe, it's marketed as a fairy tale getaway for couples. The bedroom has a regal queen-sized bed. Its balcony peers into the courtyard and a pond. Lastly, the amenities like art, flowers, home-baked treats, and no TV complete the romantic scene. Now, before complaining that you don't have enough living space, remember that this man made a home for Snow White's 7 dwarves. His initial project was a chicken coop, but it slowly turned into a sleep deck on wheels. With a total budget of $100, he had to be creative. So he disassembled dumped cedar recliners and front-loading washers to get useful parts. Anyone looking through Google Earth might think that it's a UFO out there in the woods. In truth, this is a 100-foot-long cantilevered cabin that can cater up to 8 guests. Entry is through a ramp where along the way you pass a utility room, a guest bedroom, a bathroom, and a principal bedroom. Since it stands 60 feet high on a steel mast, its communal open plan just makes sense. Getting older, we mostly grow out of liking the school bus. But an Airbnb owner in British Columbia never did. She converted a bus passenger area into a cozy living space with a copper penny desk, a kitchenette, and a bedroom. You can't drive away, cause look what happened to the driver's seat. Overall, it's a great place to take the kids to remind them to stay in school. The quote, "Don't judge a book by its cover," can be an understatement sometimes. Poor civil engineer and architect, the interior design took all the glory. When you think of Greece, you think columns and slabs. This triangle house is an outlier. It's a complex constructed with a full view of the olive groves and Gerania Mountains in mind. It incorporates classic Greek elements by having a courtyard, doors connecting the outside to most rooms, and prostas. You know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And in this content creator's case, that's because trash is the only thing keeping thieves from his dumpster man cave. He started by installing plywood on the inside, which also serves as the trash gate. He then painted and sanded them to create a gray aesthetic. Lastly, items simply lying around in his garage were installed, and it was finished. In Alaska, you can live like a futuristic Pingu in what they call the Borealis Base Camp. Booking a night here gives you an igloo adorned with European-style interiors. Clear, curved windows stretch 16 feet across, allowing you to lie in bed and view the dancing lights above. If the temperature drops, the igloo has a heater, a steam shower, and a bar lounge to keep you warm. When developers said that their new land was unsuitable for residents, they took it personally and built a megalith home. An entire year was spent blasting and digging into a boulder until this family settled in to furnish the cave. The best feature is in the system. Electricity is sourced from solar panels, water is filtered from rain, and the air comes through vents drilled into the rocks. Is it a dragon? Is it a dog? Or is it something you'll only see in Disney? The Bloom House in Austin, Texas was created at the owner's sole request. Erect a building without straight lines. Hence, its architect used nature as the inspiration, with no blueprints. Those staying here should prepare for the unconventional, like weird room placements and cramped winding halls. A home that doesn't need a heater or an air conditioning system sounds inconceivable nowadays. But the heliodome will make you believe it. The shape is not only aesthetic, but it helps block the sun's brutal rays in the summer. Alternatively, it traps light seeping through its majestic wooden and glass frames during the winter solstice. Due to this feature, it was integral that its protective side faced northeast. His neighbors laugh at him because he doesn't have a garage. But watch closely, because he definitely gets the last laugh. Our last house is 99% wood, 100% awesome. Valdara Labs accessed their backyard forest and milling equipment to create this cabin. Cross-laminated timber served as both its structure and interior cladding. They also used traditional Japanese methods, yakisugi and sashimono, to protect the wood and set up furniture without nails. Which house would you want to live in? Drop your pick in the comments down below and subscribe while you're down there. Continue watching through the boxes on screen. Or consider visiting Reasoning Behind for even more amazing selections. Cheers!